there is another story brewing with this one with Team Taz. You know, booking by Bonds, the resident Team Taz Mark. He has released his booking by Bonds, the Uncaged, the Brian Uncaged, and it's looking more and more like that every single week that we're seeing this, that the cage turn essentially, you know, which we're salivating over because we know this guy is a pure star. Who better?
Yep.
The stuff we saw in the ring, you know. The commentators, first and foremost, were putting Hangman over so much, which he deserves. I mean, the guy is a pure star, and how the biggest pop was Hangman at Double or Nothing and all this, and they're putting him over. But, you know, watching Cage in this match, he really stood out to me more than anybody. You know, we got robbed of some of Cage's star stuff during the picture-in-picture, sadly. But, you know, I paid close attention. I was watching it, you know, squinting my eyes in the little picture-in-picture. But he was curling Preston Vance. He was doing some great stuff, you know. And then we came back and we saw Cage throw a 619, a Hurricane Rana. And we just saw him doing some awesome moves for a guy that big. And
that's the thing
very
about
impressive
Cage.
Stuff, man. It's such impressive stuff, man. So these four guys, this is a hoss battle.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the amazing thing about Brian Cage, and that's what we've always loved about this guy is like it's uncanny. It really puts things in perspective when you look at the power this guy has.
Mm-hmm.
Being able, I mean, we've said it time and again when he's able to catch guys in midair, and when
he's again,
like, dude, when he was bicep curling Preston Vance. That happened in picture, but when Brian Cage had Preston Vance and he was literally bicep curling Preston Vance, that's not Jack Evans, bro. That's not Matt Sydal. That's a legit powerhouse himself. And he was making it look easy.
I know.
So when you have a guy like Cage who's that strong, that powerful, but then can hit a 619, can hit a Hurricane Rana fluidly, it blows your mind what this man is capable of.
It really does.
And it's no wonder why booking by Bonds has been week after week after week has been chomping at the bit. Like, this guy is a former Impact World Heavyweight Champion. This guy can be a legitimate top guy in AEW. Let's break him away from the nonsense and the drama of Team Taz, and that's even with Bonds loving Team Taz. Let's break him away from that and let this guy shine. Let this guy get the crowd reactions that he deserves. A guy like him who can do a power bomb, who could do the drill claw, which is one of the scariest, most impressive finishers in pro wrestling.
Right.
Talk about showcasing power. A guy like that who can do that, but then do these incredible feats of athleticism. You're wearing the babyface shirt. You need to print one off and send it over to the machine because he feels like a natural babyface. The crowd's gonna eat this dude up, man. And to have him go against Ricky Starks and Team Taz is gonna be perfection. You know that Starks with the slap in the face.
Oh my! That was a brutal slap.
Slap, brother. He did not pull back on that one.
He did.
Go with the way that Starks is gonna talk the talk. He's gonna talk so much shit in this feud. It's gonna make people want to see Brian Cage beat the heck out of Ricky Starks, get his hands on him. People are going to want that. It's just, and with Ricky Starks hurt, it plays into, Brian Cage, you know, like, is he going to hurt? Is he going to go after Ricky Starks even after the neck injury? It's a brilliant story. And really booking by Bonds, he talked about everything that he put out there is starting to happen. Hobbs, I felt bad for him because in this match, you know, Hobbs is kind of an innocent bystander in this BS, right? He wasn't the one.
Sure.
He wasn't the one who like slapped Brian Cage in the face. Brian Cage gets pulled away, his tag partner in the middle. Imagine any other team, right? Your tag partner gets distracted and leaves the ring, and you're going 2-on-1 against one of the top young stars in the company, and like with Hangman and an absolute powerhouse in 10.
Yeah,
you're going 2-on-1 in the main event. I felt sympathy for Powerhouse Hobbs. And it's wild to say because he's such a big bad dude, but like you start to say like, man, he was left high and dry by his own team, and like so you could tell why, like as Bonds talked about, why Hobbs would get frustrated with the drama of Team Taz, where it's like, I got caught. I got like a match that caught, like a huge opportunity for me was blown. I didn't do anything wrong. You know, like what? Well, you guys are over here bickering amongst yourselves.
Sure.
I just want to win. You know, like so. I don't know, man. I thought that the way this story is playing is feeding into a lot what Bonds was talking about in his Booking by Boggs segment, and the way that this was presented again, win-win for everybody. Hobbs eats the pin, but he was left in a 2-on-1 scenario. He still looked like dude, that spine buster battle between him and 10. I know you tweeted about that. That was phenomenal. Those two were trying to one up each other. So Hobbs looks strong still because even though like I've talked about with Pac losing in that triple threat, getting hit by the belt 4 times, when you lose in that manner, it still protects the big man.
Sure.
But then you give the rub to a Preston Vance, you winning in the main event spotlight like that. I mean, everything, drinking the beers with Hangman, it just was a star-making moment for multiple people in there, and it set the tone for the landscape changing. Where Team Taz, that we're going to finally rip the Band-Aid off of Team Taz, and we're going to allow this feud to blow up the way we want to see it happen. Everything hit on this one. The AEW really delivered in the main event.
I think when Cage does turn babyface, that this is, you have essentially like a Greek god that you want the fans to root for, and that's kind of what they're missing. This talented, awesome, like he's going to leave the belt behind and kind of run through Team Taz, and that's going to be some great work there, and it's going to be some great pops from Cage that deserves, man. You know, when we saw him debut and stuff, like when we do see him in the ring, it's definitely just like he was our top performer one week against Darby that he lost, and we both picked him as our top performer, taking an L because of how impressive he was.
Yep.
And the stuff he can do in the ring. And he could talk the talk and walk the walk big time. So this guy's overall, and it's no wonder what Tony Khan sees in him in it as well. So I agree with you, man. That was a star-making, main event, and it was perfectly booked main event with a lot of storylines that are going to be curious at going forward. It makes you want more coming back, and to really keep pushing a young star in Preston Vance, and with a completely over, person in Hangman Page.